Hello and welcome to ETBFSI. I am Ishan Shah and today we are in conversation with Prashant Tripathy from Max Life Insurance. Welcome on the show, sir.
Thank you.
My first question is, how is the life insurance industry doing right now? We've seen that insurance penetration is still below 10%. How are life insurers working towards this?
So life insurance industry has been on an upward trajectory for the last many years actually, and last 3-4 years have been particularly very good. As we speak, the private life insurance companies are growing at the rate of about 20%, and that's been the case for the last many years. As far as the penetration is concerned, way back in 2008-9, the penetration actually went up, but because of a few changes which came subsequently, the penetration actually went down. For the last few years, it has been in the range about 2.8, 2.7, 2.8%. Hopefully, as new sales continues to grow, it will give a momentum to the overall revenues in form of renewal also, and that will drive the overall penetration to go up. However, there are other ways of measuring penetration also. One of the ways is look at sum assured per person, and that indeed has been going up. I don't have the exact number, but because the focus on selling protection by life insurance industry, the sum assured per person is going up quite rapidly.
So overall at your company, how are you growing and what is your growth strategy ahead?
We have been growing quite robustly in last few years. For last year, our growth was about 22%, and we were significantly higher than the market. This year also, for the first 5 months, we are growing at the rate of about 30%. Which is again significantly higher than the private industry as well as industry. So we are gaining market share. It is coming on the back of a few things, basically 5 things that we're working on. The first and most important is driving growth and having growth mindset. Within that, we are trying to, on one side, establish and leverage the great relationships that we have with some of the marquee bank partners. Also work on our own channels. In last 18 months, we have made significant investment in driving our agency channel, opening new offices, as well as investment on digital sales as well as direct sales. So that's the growth part. Equally, there has been a very sharp focus on bringing the value of customer obsession. As we speak, there are many initiatives that we are trying to drive to bring customer in the forefront, and the objective is to become a top quartile player as far as all the customer measures are concerned. Number 3 is our people. I always say the 2 biggest assets we have, other than managing the large fund that we have, is customer and people. Very happy to share that we are number 35 on the Great Places to Work, and we are the only life insurance company there. The objective is to build that momentum and perhaps be closer to 20. Digitization is a big effort area for us. Insurance, while the product is traditional, at a process level, and the process could be a distribution process or a customer process or employee process. There's a lot of opportunity to digitize and make it more efficient. So we are working on that, and that's one of the 5. And the last one is to drive protection, because that's a big need. Like you talked about driving penetration, we are working on that agenda because that indeed is the demand of the customer. So those are 5 initiatives that we are working on, which is the key reason why we are growing so robustly, and we hope to continue the momentum.
So overall, how's your distribution strategy? Bank is their one channel, but new alternate channels you're looking up for.
So as we speak, bank definitely has been a very important channel for us. Our bank partners collectively contribute anywhere between 60 to 65% of our sales. But in addition, we are looking at building our own channels. When I talk about the channels, agency, of course, everybody knows. But digital sales is a new channel which is building, and it is growing at a very handsome pace of about 40-50% every year. We are also building a few smaller channels, which is not 100% digital, but a very deep impact or a deep influence of digital. So it is a quasi offline online kind of a channel, which is in direct space, a few other models that we are trying, and all that collectively hopefully will continue to drive the momentum. That will form about 35 to 40% of our total sales.
So coming to the other segment, InsurTechs, they have been in the market since quite a long time. So how do you view them? Long-time partners or long-time competitors?
We work with a few of them, and I'm very proud that InsurTechs will increasingly become more and more important. And let me take a couple of minutes. Aggregators, all of us know, are InsurTech companies. They are doing a great job, and all of us partner with them, and they provide a good platform for sales. But increasingly through the entire journey, there are many InsurTech companies that are partnering with us, especially on the customer journeys and distribution journeys. We are working with smaller players. They're helping us in really funky ideas with respect to conversion from text to written, from voice to written, from speeding up the process, giving us technologies that could kill issues around accuracy. It is happening at the front end of the distribution. It is happening through analytics, very sharp analytics to scrub and sharpen our underwriting process, as well as giving suggestions with respect to what the distribution should be selling to the customer, looking at the profile of the customer. So across the entire journey of customer or distributor or employees, there are many InsurTech companies which are working with us. We're also happy to share with you that we just kick-started an accelerator program where we are working with a bunch of fintech companies and enthusiastic entrepreneurs, where we have given them our core problems, and they are working with us to solve some of them. And we will start to work and partner with somebody who has come up with a solution for us, and we intend to get into a longer term relationship with a few people who will solve our problems.
That's great. In fact, partnership is the way forward.
Absolutely.
So coming on to the side of innovation, that's specifically your organization. Life insurance being a very simple product, but it's very difficult to kind of ensure that the consumer buys it in the right manner. So how are you solving that piece of puzzle?
Again, the technology helps us mostly from artificial intelligence perspective. So we have now algorithms and programs set up at our front end. To as I mentioned to you, speed up the journey, but also look at the quality of sales, which means we have validation processes which are embedded now to make sure that we are not only interacting with the distributor, but also with the customer, to make sure that there is no gap between what the distributor communicated and what the customer understood. Earlier it used to be plain phone calls, but now there are more solutions that we are implementing at the front end. Also, looking at who has bought. So, there are now artificial intelligence tools and machine learning solutions that we are implementing on the ground to make sure that the profile that has come on board and has bought a life insurance policy from us is indeed a genuine profile. There is no issue with respect to either concealment of facts or, non-disclosures. So those are elements that we're continuously working on. Very happy to share that while on one side we're making progress, on the other side it is continuously reducing the opportunities of any missell or misbuying by somebody.
So mis-selling on the part of the agent side, this practice is still there in the industry. So how do you tackle this part of problem?
So basically there are multiple ways we do that. It's a distributed setup, and many people continuously talk about mis-selling, and it is something that the regulator as well as industries are very conscious. Putting framework in place. So we continuously monitor the complaints, grievance incidence rates, and work on making improvements. Now the way to make improvement is to ensure that you're training your customers. There is a consequence management if there is any incidence of mis-selling. So those are more corrective, but on a more proactive basis, embedding sales processes through digital solutions. So when you go, somebody goes and presents a case or tries to sell, there are automated solutions in terms of what product to be pitched. If the pitched product is different from, or the sold product is different from the pitched product, you get conscious, you start to investigate. There are other tools where you take a direct confirmation from the customer to make sure that he has bought what has been sold. So we again come to know absolutely the calling process to confirm continues parallelly. Equally, there are solutions where while the sales process is happening, we also establish contact from the center with the customer directly to interact and to validate that what agent is trying to do is in line with what has been taught. So there are multiple ways we do that. We are seeing good progress. The complaints numbers are coming down, the grievance incidence ratios are improving every year, and I'm very hopeful that with this effort, we will continue to maintain our leadership position on managing our customers really well.
On the fraud side, I mean, life insurance industry has been a big victim of fraudulent claims.
I know.
How are you working on that?
So like I mentioned to you, 2 or 3 fronts. A, sharp analytics. So the sharp analytics is on the basis of artificial intelligence and machine learning to know the customer profile, and when I say the profile, which means the demographic profile, the age profile, as well as the geography profile where those claims come from, and put in place solutions that when the policy comes, we put extra checks. So you do that extra checks first, which means you will run extra underwriting norms. Maybe you will call, you will go and meet with the customer. So those are things that we are A. B, all the fraudulent activities that used to happen at maybe a medical center or somebody misrepresenting facts. We are trying to take care of them by algorithm-based tele-underwriting, video, those kind of solutions. And 3, we also make sure that once the policy has come on board, we are continuously monitoring and filtering to make sure that there is no negative profile which is coming to us. In case those negative profiles come our way, we make sure that we filter it out, go back to the customer, and get out of that policy which the regulator actually allows for the first 3 years.
One last question, going ahead 2-3 years, what new things we can expect at your organization, new partnership models, new innovative solutions to make insurance simple so that millennials understand the importance of life
Absolutely. I
insurance?
think I always say that in 10 years' time, a large part of our customers will be millennials, and millennials will want solutions which are friendly, which are easy, which are understandable, so those things. And there are several elements on which we are working. So one of them is to make sure that our policy document is very easy. Historically, life insurance companies will give policy documents which are more like legal contracts, nobody will understand. So we are working on simplifying it. B, focusing on product categories which are more relevant. Fortunately for us, the regulator has just come up with a sandbox approach, and we are coming up with a few ideas that we are proposing to the regulator that will finally take shape in form of new products, and those products will really be good. It is going to focus on 2 or 3 elements of how life insurance. So there could be variable premium, there could be a very shorter duration, unlike general life insurance companies will run in, and there'll be features that have never existed. So we are going to work on them. There's within the products team, we have a full team dedicated to look at innovations within product categories. At the end of the day, the products that life insurance companies sell, have a particular objective. But as the market opens, there'll be more and more solutions focused around health, around retirements, around categories that we never, could approach. I think those are areas that will focus. But I think where it will be more visible is process. The customer onboarding process, how fast we could issue the policy, how the customer services will be rendered, the overall user experience working with a company like Max Life Insurance. We are working really hard to make sure that all those things go through a significant transformation. At the end, with the objective to make it easy, simple, transparent.
All right, sir. Those were some really great insights. We wish you all the best.
Thank you, Ishan.
Thank you so much for watching ETBFSI. Stay tuned.